Have you agreed upon a verdict?
Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the verdict is in.
Is it your verdict that the defendant, Michelle Troconis, is guilty to the information of the charge of conspiracy to commit murder?
Yes.
Michelle Troconis learns her fate after more than a month on trial.
This wasn't a fair trial from day one. Wasn't a fair trial, and you all know that.
Witness upon witness taking the stand.
There is nothing to suggest that Michelle had any clue about what was going to happen in New Canaan on May 24th, 2019.
To determine her involvement in the death of Jennifer Farber Dulos.
Jennifer is dead, and Fotis and Michelle Troconis intended that to happen.
Our team coverage starts right now.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The verdict in for the Michelle Troconis case, a jury finding Troconis guilty on all 6 counts she faced, including conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence in connection to the death of Jennifer Dulos. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. After weeks of testimony, the jury reached its decision. Connecticut's news station, of course, has been following the case every step of the way.
And we have live team coverage tonight in Stamford covering all today's events. And let's send it right out now to Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc for the very latest. Julia?
Well, this is a day many have been waiting for nearly 5 years, and you could feel that built-up emotion in the courtroom as the verdict came down. And when that happened, Michelle Troconis took a seat and put her head in her hands.
Will the defendant, Michelle Troconis, please rise and face the jury?
A moment nearly 5 years in the making.
Guilty.
A 6-person jury finding Michelle Troconis guilty on all 6 charges against her in connection to the death of New Canaan mom of 5, Jennifer Farber Dulos.
What say you, Mr. Foreperson? Is she guilty or not guilty of the first count of the information charging the defendant with conspiracy to commit murder?
Guilty.
Prosecutors spending 7 weeks painting a picture where they say Fotis Dulos killed his estranged wife, and his then girlfriend Troconis helped him get rid of the evidence.
Is she guilty or not guilty on the second count of the information to the charge of conspiracy to commit tampering with physical evidence?
Guilty.
Fotis died by suicide in 2020, leaving Troconis to stand trial. Troconis crying with her head in her hands as the jury's 4-person dictated their decision, all as her defense attorneys consoled her, shaking their heads in disbelief. And as their client was taken away in handcuffs,
The court will impose the following.
Prosecutors making one last request.
Your Honor, at this point, the state is moving the court to revoke the defendant's bond, or in the alternative, at a minimum, double it.
The judge answers the call.
$6 million cash as surety.
Outside of court, defense attorney John Schoenhorn talks about his next legal move to reverse a decision he feels the jury got wrong.
I truly just don't see how the jury could have reached this verdict.
A verdict Schoenhorn says was tainted from the beginning, long before jurors started deliberating.
In my view, it's not just whether there are any issues, it's which ones not to argue because of how many errors I think there were in this process.
Schoenhorn says he'll be filing a few motions to explain why he says and believes that this trial was unfair. Now, if those motions are denied, he says he will be filing for an appeal. Now, as for Troconis, well, he says that she will not be posting bail tonight and she'll be staying at the York Correctional Institution in Niantic tonight, all as she waits for her sentencing, which is scheduled right now for May 31st. Now, again, this is all as Troconis and her family still maintain her innocence and show support for her. This happened outside of the courthouse once again today, as it's happened throughout this entire trial. Our Bridget Biorlo was there to hear from her family, and she joins us now live with that side of the story. Bridget.
Yeah, Julia, you're absolutely right. Emotions running high both inside the courthouse here in Stamford and outside it as these families reacted to this verdict that many people are calling shocking. On one hand, you have the family of Jennifer Dulos who are thanking the legal team, the investigators, for helping bring forth this conviction that they certainly wanted. But on the other hand of this, you have the family and friends of Michelle Troconis who tell me that the outcome inside this courthouse today was the worst outcome imaginable. A family united in sorrow and support for Michelle Troconis.
And today we are here devastated because has been a tremendous injustice in the trial of my daughter.
The 49-year-old could spend the rest of her life in prison after a Stamford jury convicted her of conspiring to murder mother of 5, Jennifer Dulos.
Guilty.
I love my sister and she's innocent, and this wasn't a fair trial.
The Troconis family shocked and saddened by Friday's guilty on all counts verdict, but not deterred.
No justice. No justice.
What would you like to say to the Dulos family?
The mystery is not solved.
Michelle's attorney, John Schornhorn, reflecting on the outcome with Fox 61 News.
She is devastated. She's very upset. In the lockup, we spent a good deal of time with her before I came out here. She's in complete disbelief. It's just a very sad day.
As for the family and friends of Jennifer Dulos, they declined to speak with us outside Stamford Superior Court, but instead sent us this statement that reads in part, quote, "Today's verdict is a crucial attribution of accountability, not a victory. There can be no victory when 5 children are growing up without their mother. Jennifer's grace, goodness, and light live on through her children and through the honor of her memory." And I caught up with the defense counsel after that verdict was announced. I asked him, would he have done anything differently in hindsight? Would he have changed his strategy, perhaps put Michelle on the witness stand? And he said it wouldn't have made a difference with this jury. And keep in mind, in conspiracy trials, it only requires 6 jurors to be seated compared to a traditional murder trial that seats 12. We are in Stamford today. I am Bridget Piorlo reporting for Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Bridget. And after this emotionally heavy day in court, we want to take a moment to remember Jennifer. This is a live look at the memorial for Jennifer Farber Dulos in West Hartford. This memorial has grown in size through the years, with more people adding flowers and notes through the recent trial. Her story has raised awareness around domestic violence, and that's why there's been so much purple added to that memorial site. 5 children still without their mother tonight, and still so many questions left unanswered.
And for a full timeline of this trial, you can head to our website, fox61.com, for continuing coverage. We are following breaking news now out of Bolton, where officials are investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Let's send it right out to Fox 61's Matt Karen, who's live on scene. So, Matt, what are you learning?
Well, guys, at about 2:15 this afternoon, the sleepy little town of Bolton was thrust into the middle of a massive criminal investigation, and we're learning more at this hour about what exactly that criminal investigation entails. Let me first step out of the way, and you can take a look behind me, and you can see the massive amount of state police presence that remains on scene here at Meadow Road in Bolton. But the state police have confirmed that this was indeed an officer-involved shooting. They said they got here at about 2:15. Troopers from Troop K, that's the Colchester barracks, responded for a citizen's assist. And what that is a non-criminal incident. Could be somebody who just needs help with something. So they got here, and shortly after they did, investigators made contact with an individual. A Connecticut state trooper on scene discharged their duty weapon at that individual, wounding them, caused them injury. Nobody else in the area was hurt. Medical personnel, of course, responded, transported that injured person to the hospital, as well as one trooper who was also transported to be evaluated. Now, the state police say there's no ongoing threat to the public. This is, as per the usual with these types of investigations, something that is going to be handled by the State Office of the Inspector General. They are now in charge, taking the lead on investigating all police use of force incidents. And there's a set of timelines and deadlines that they need to meet for when certain public information needs to be released. But we're going to be working in the meantime to gather as much information on scene here in Bolton as we possibly can. But again, a police-involved shooting where one person was injured, 2 people taken to the hospital, including that injured person and a Connecticut State Police trooper for evaluation. That's the latest here live from Bolton. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Matt. Turning to the weather now. Sunny as we head into the weekend, but will it last?
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank, I'm going to let you answer that question because it was so nice outside today. It's going to be hard to let go of.
Yeah, hopefully you got a little bit of vitamin D because we've got a lot more clouds in the days ahead. And it is a wet start to the weekend tomorrow with rain developing midday into the afternoon. But after a wet start to the weekend, it is a warm finish with drying conditions for the second half and even some quite impressive temperatures. Taking a look, this is the rain that is on the way. You can see it heading in our direction. For now, though, we're dry. So if you have any Friday evening plans, go right ahead. Temperatures right around 40 degrees. Maybe you got to walk the dog or head to the grocery store. Temperatures are in the mid-30s in Waterbury and also in Norwich, 36, the current temperature in Torrington. As we head towards daybreak, we're looking at temperatures falling into the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. A lot of clouds by daybreak tomorrow. It's a dry start, so I think cloudy skies at 7 a.m. Most of the rain, although it could be a little misty before that, most develops between around or after 10 a.m. and noon. Once the rain gets here, the rest of the day is a total washout with rain continuing right into Saturday evening. We could even see some moderate to heavier downpours at times, and high temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s. But we dry out after midnight Saturday night and into Sunday morning. We'll show you that treat for Sunday coming up.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. 29-year-old man is in critical condition after a shooting in New Haven. Police say the man was shot in the area of Wilmot Street and Brookside Avenue. The man walked into Yale New Haven Hospital with a gunshot wound. No word on any suspects or arrests. Anyone with information about the shooting should contact New Haven Police.
And we have an update now on a crash on the Berlin Turnpike. We now know the person who was hit by a car died. Police identifying that victim as 27-year-old Caitlin Burke of Weathersfield. They say a car hit Burke in the southbound lanes near Wren Kitchen. Police say the driver stayed on scene. If you have any information on what happened here, you should give police a call. And still to come here on the news at 6, the CDC making a change to COVID isolation guidelines. We'll tell you what you need to know if you get sick. Coming up.